Jeff, we know you wanted to talk about this woman for a long time, and so do I. It's Ghislaine Maxwell, all right? Ghislaine is, of course, Epstein's Ghislaine, excuse me, it's very hard to pronounce her name. The Epstein entourage, as we've seen, she's due in court today, and authorities are detailing how far she went to hide herself, including wrapping her cell phone in tinfoil, even having former British military guard her house. She is the former associate of Jeffrey Epstein. She's now facing charges that she helped recruit, groom, and abuse young girls. Jeff, you're all over this. What's your take on this?
Well, I went down the rabbit hole on this Jeffrey Epstein case because, I mean, there's documentaries out on Netflix if you want to go watch it. Filthy Rich, it's called. It just came out. So we all know, I think, what happened with Epstein allegedly. He was in jail and he committed suicide.
What are those air quotes? I'm just kidding.
One of the most guarded jails in America, I think El Chapo is there because it's so secure. Now, all of a sudden, there was no guard looking after Jeffrey Epstein, and there were no cameras.
The cameras didn't work.
And just to go a little bit further, I could talk all day about this because I'm infatuated with it. But this girl, Ghislaine, yeah. No one can find her or pronounce her name, either one. But Ghislaine she was there side by side with Jeffrey Epstein throughout this whole thing. Jeffrey Epstein had this huge mansion. I believe it was like $70 million mansion in New York City, and every single room had a camera in there.
Including the bathrooms.
That recorded everything, okay? Talk about Big Brother. This recorded everything, which means he had some very big names, some celebrity friends, some royalty. I mean, I think you know where you're going. I'm just trying to protect myself here. Some politicians, and it's all on tape, and I think Ghislaine holds the keys to all those answers. So if she rolls over, we might see some big names and powers shift throughout the world, not just the country, throughout the world.
Global community. We're talking about, we've talked about princes and royalty and politicians. I agree with Jeff. Lindsay, we want to know your take here. I think she's going to roll because she has the leverage. I think she's getting full immunity, and she is getting out of there and extradited somewhere after she names names. What do you think?
Listen, when I first started on this show, I remember when we talked about this story and Jeff was saying it was conspiracy that he died in the jail, and I was like, man, that could happen. Let's look into it more. But now I'm all on board with Jeff. Like, I've been watching these documentaries. It's crazy. I mean, she had offshore money in different accounts. Like you said, the aluminum foil wrapped cell phone. She was paying her guards out like millions of dollars to protect her in case of emergency. Like, what is she hiding? And also, who are the powerful people, like Jeff said, that she's protecting? And I don't know what length that they'll go to protect themselves. So I don't know that she's going to be so willing to speak up.
I think on both sides of the aisle, may I say, as well. And we do want to say that as authorities were approaching her, allegedly, she ran. So she tried to close the door and go into another room. So when they're talking about bail here, she's the definition of a flight risk. She has, I believe, 3 passports. She's from France, which you can get extradited from. She has like $4 million allegedly in a Swiss bank account. I mean,
just the whole fact that he wasn't in jail years and years and years ago, okay? And that she wasn't, because she participated in those acts too, which is disgusting. I don't mean to like draw light to this, that I'm obsessed with it. It's just that I'm obsessed with how the government handled this. And here's what I'm gonna say. I think she's taken into custody at this specific moment because of the upcoming election. I think this is going to somehow play a part. Now, I'm really going conspiracy theory here, but I believe the reason that she's caught right now is because the big names are going to come out. I mean, there is pictures with Trump. I'm not saying he did anything.
Pictures with Clinton.
There are things on the other side.
Picture with Clinton, too.
He did have a picture.
But, Tori, how can we grant this woman immunity even if she does talk? Like, she coerced young girls or young kids into doing things. You know, she's clearly involved in this. She doesn't have like some stand by the side, innocent bystander. So I don't think America or anybody, the world would be okay with clearing her name just to give up other names.
Right, and allegedly she's done some horrific, heinous things. I do hope she sees some jail time, but remember, she has the leverage because she knows the names. She has the tapes. She has everything. So if you really want to get those guys at the top, that's who you got to work with. Ghislaine.
All right. Like I said, I think more is
we got her name down.
We got her name down, though.